Welcome into another edition of the Leadership Library, hosted by CEO and author Rocky Romanella. Rocky is the author of the book, Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership, and has over 40 years of business experience as a prominent member of the UPS Supply Chain Solutions team, as well as the CEO of Unitech Global Services. So sit back, grab your notebook, and take a seat, and get ready for this edition of the Leadership Library.
Okay, so now we're on step 2 of this promotion process. The individual has clearly defined to you and told you that put me in coach. You, as the leader, believe that they're the right person for the job, and you're willing to make that recommendation. So now I think the second biggest responsibility that you have now, the first was, remember we said in the last podcast, the first one is you clearly define your expectation as the leader, what it is that you expect them to do, how you expect them to do it, and why you expect them to do it. I think number 2, to me, is the difference maker. Number 2 is you then have to believe in them until they're ready to believe in themselves. Look, they said, put me in. I've said that. Some of you listen have said that. Some of you want to say that. Some of you drive home at night from work thinking about what you're going to do when you get that next promotion or when you get that opportunity. Whether you're a player who's dreaming about getting on that field and seeing your name on a starting lineup, or with that teacher we talked about who's now got the opportunity to start to gain tenure and get that full-time job, or that person that's being promoted inside an organization. You think about these things, you dream about these things, but when the reality hits is when you step up as the leader and say, I'm going to believe in you until you're ready to believe in yourself. I'm going to take you over that hump of knowledge, experience, a little bit of doubt. You believe in them until they're ready to believe in themselves. We've talked about this a few times in previous podcasts, but now we're talking about it in the context of they've raised their hand and said, put me in. You agree you want to put them in. You filled out that lineup card with their name on it. Now it's our responsibility and yours as the leader to bridge that gap of knowledge. And you bridge that gap by believing in them. We talked a little bit about that episode of hope. It's your hope, your faith, your belief in those individuals that helps get them through those early days. And then once they start to get confidence, once they start to understand their job, once they start to get some successes, well, then all of a sudden you reach that break-even point where you now begin to step back, right? You let them manage. You don't overmanage them. You don't micromanage them. What you do is you become the cheerleader. You become the person who says, good job, keep up the good work. You don't need to be the master of the obvious to point out situations that aren't working, because now they're coming to you and explaining to you why it didn't work, what they're going to do differently, and how they're going to do it differently. So to me, number 2 here is really when you've made the recommendation, they've raised their hand, and now you're that individual that's going to believe in them until they're ready to believe in themselves. And once they get to that break-even point, you step back, and then once they start showing signs of success and feeling good about themselves, that's when you really step back. That's when you show them that you've given them the authority that goes with their responsibility, and you truly believe in them because you've empowered them, because they've taken the responsibility that goes with the authority that you've given them. So the 2 things are, the first one is, first major responsibility you have is clearly lay out and define your expectations, what it is that you're looking for them to do, why you're looking for them to do it, and how they do it potentially. And the second is you believe in them until they're ready to believe in themselves. On the next podcast episode, we'll wrap up from the responsibility of the promotee, but there's nothing more fulfilling and there's no greater feeling than to see someone who enthusiastically has raised their hand and wants that additional responsibility, and you've helped and guided them to have that success. Remember, visit our website, www.tightenthelugnuts.com or www.360managementservices.com for additional information, and feel free to engage with us on our website. Till we meet again, be safe, and thank you for being part of the Leadership Library family.